There are certain cities in professional wrestling that are haunted. Chicago is ruled by CM Punk. New York really belongs to Bruce Sammartino. But Montreal is haunted by betrayal. It has been almost 30 years since Shawn Michaels locked Bret Hart in that iconic sharpshooter. We talk about that moment so much it's become cliche. But you have to understand the Montreal Screwjob is not just a moment in history. It's kind of a virus and infected the DNA of that building that night. Every time a referee slides into position in the Bell Center, 15,000 people hold their breath, not knowing what's going to happen. Every time a hometown hero climbs a turnbuckle, the fans are waiting for the rug to be pulled out from under them. This Saturday, we go back to the scene of that crime. We have Sami Zayn, the spiritual successor, I guess you could say, to Bret Hart, trying to finish his story now. We have Cody Rhodes fighting a monster who does not follow the script. And we have a crowd that will be desperate to riot if they do not get what they want. We are not just watching wrestling this weekend, we could be watching a potential exorcism. Welcome to the escape. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Escape podcast. It is Kyle, your host, and we are deep in the trenches on the road to Royal Rumble. Today's episode is a special deep dive preview of Saturday night's main event. We're going to break down the 3 confirmed matches up to this point. I'm going to give you my odds on who could win, and because I have an idea how Triple H books, I'm going to tell you how they're going to mess with our emotions this weekend. And real quick, if you're listening on Spotify, specifically Spotify, please do me a favor, hit the follow button if you haven't already. We're trying to hit our goal before WrestleMania, and you guys are the only reason this show keeps growing. This week in WWE history. January 19th, 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned the wrestling world when he drove a Zamboni into Detroit's Joe Louis Arena on Raw is War, chasing down Vince McMahon and attacking him at ringside. Not just a wild moment, it was one of the first times WWE fully leaned into Stone Cold as the anti-authority icon that he is and was, cementing the Austin versus McMahon rivalry as the backbone of the Attitude Era. That rivalry will go on to define WWE television for years and change how wrestling stories were told forever. All right, let's head to Canada for our main event. I'm going to break down the matches, and the first match we're going to break down today is the women's tag titles. Let's start with that match. I think it's quietly an interesting piece of storytelling on the card. The women's tag team championship, you have Rhea Ripley and IYO SKY defending against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Now, on paper, it looks like a standard title defense, but if you look at the politics of this match, it's kind of a powder keg, if you will. Let's start with the challengers, the Judgment Day. We have watched Liv Morgan kind of essentially gaslight Roxanne Perez for the last few months. We're waiting for Liv to eventually flip on Roxanne, and that night could be on Saturday night. Liv has convinced Roxanne that she's the only person who truly believes in her, the one who has her back. But what happens if and when they lose? Because let's be honest, I don't see Rhea Ripley or IYO SKY losing those titles. Does Liv blame Morgan, or does Liv? I cannot talk today. Does Liv blame Roxanne? Does she snap on her little sister? I do think Montreal is going to be a place where we see a crack in that foundation once again for the Judgment Day. Just watch Liv's body language this Saturday. If Roxanne takes the pin, watch Liv's face. This could be where it all comes to a head. But let's go and talk about the champions. Okay, Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY. Now, they're a great tag team. They're a classic can they coexist, but done the right way. They are 2 alphas in the ring who realize it's easier to dominate together than to fight one another, and now they're best friends because of it. Now, the smart fan questioned me. Rhea Ripley does not need a tag title, even though she has it. She's a main eventer. She's the face of the division. I'm waiting for her to go right back up. I'm ready for her to go back up. I know they kind of put her in a back burner for a little bit, but she's got to be on that main event card. I expect Rhea and IYO to absolutely steamroll in this match. I expect them to win. And I expect Rhea Ripley to physically overwhelm both Liv and Roxanne Perez, and hoping that kind of sends a message to the entire division. Official prediction, Rhea Ripley and IYO SKY will retain, but keep your eyes on Liv Morgan throughout this match. The betrayal is coming. It's just a matter of when. All right, let's keep this moving because this card does not slow down and neither do the storylines. Next up, we have the Lone Wolf. So we're going to have Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu in this match, and the American Nightmare versus the Samoan Werewolf. I need to emphasize this something here because a lot of people are missing the detail. Jacob Fatu is alone. He's not wearing a Bloodline shirt. He's not walking out with Solo Sikoa, not answering to anybody else. He is operating as a rogue agent. Kind of gives me Umaga vibes back from 2006, where he just showed up and wrecked people because he could. This matters for Cody. Cody is built to fight systems. He fought authority. He fought the bloodline hierarchy, fought the corporate machine. But how do you fight a guy who does not care about any system at all? Fatu really doesn't want the title. He did not ask for this match. He just wanted to watch the world burn. This match should be a brawl. I do not want headlocks. I don't know what I want. I just want Cody fighting for his life. But here's the booking problem here. You cannot beat Jacob Fatu clean. Too new from coming back, too fresh. If Cody hits 3 crossroads and pins him clean, you might kill Fatu's aura overnight. But Cody needs a win to get back to Drew McIntyre if that's where it's going to play out. So here's how I think it'll go down. They take the match outside. They're fighting. Fatu puts Cody maybe through an announcing table. Fatu grabs a chair. Referee warns him. Fatu laughs, destroys Cody with the chair. And I do think this match will end in a disqualification because as of right now, me recording this, they have not announced that it will be a falls count anywhere or any kind of a no DQ type of match. So I think Fatu wins the war. Cody wins the match. And Cody, I think, is going to be just laying there, beat to crap. And Fatu, protected as a monster while Cody technically moves forward. So again, Cody Rhodes will win by disqualification, and I do think a lot of medical personnel will be checking on him afterward. Now to the main event of Saturday night's main event is the Fatal 4-Way Royal Rumble title shot. That brings us here. The Fatal 4-Way for a shot at Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Sami Zayn. Now, we can go ahead and eliminate a few guys here. At least I can. Damian Priest, I absolutely love him, but his story right now is it's not really anywhere right now. They finished the Aleister Black storyline. I can't see him winning this match. Randy Orton, a lot of people are going to say he's the favorite. I don't see it here. He's a made man. Orton versus Drew could potentially be a WrestleMania match, not a Royal Rumble stopover, if you will. So maybe you could have Orton win the Rumble, but I don't see Orton winning this match either. So that leaves 2, Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. And this is going to be the past versus the future. You have Trick Williams, who is clearly the future. The crowd loves him. The charisma is undeniable. But is he ready to main event Royal Rumble against Drew McIntyre? Not yet. Tricks, I think, still needs a mid-card title run before that leap. Now that brings us to Sami Zayn. Again, WWE is a sick obsession with torturing Montreal. You get 97, the screw job. 3, I believe The Rock told Montreal crowd that they sucked. In 2023, Sami Zayn lost to Roman Reigns in a pretty heartbreaking match. I think the fans are going to be walking in there on eggshells. They're expecting Sami to lose. They're expecting the heartbreak because let's face it, Sami is going to have a huge following and attendance on Saturday night's main event. And that's exactly why I think he will win. Look at the current champion, Drew McIntyre. His current character is the cynic. Hates CM Punk, hates the fans, really, even though I feel like some of the fans like him. So who is the perfect opponent for a cynic like Drew McIntyre? The dreamer, the underdog. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre is hope versus hate. I think it writes itself. Now, for the finish, I do think Trick Williams is absolutely going to shine in this match. He's going to hit his trick shot, most likely on Priest. He'll go for the cover. Maybe Orton will pull him out of the ring. RKO on the floor. Orton slides back in, straight into a hell of a kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn wins. The roof comes off the building. The ghost could be exercised. Yes, I do believe Sami Zayn is going to win. Now, I put a post on my Instagram page at Pro Wrestling Escape out. Again, it was a screenshot from a Twitter account, X account, whatever you want to call it these days. Somebody basically saying Sami Zayn is that they are over him. His character is basically too boring at this point. They need to maybe take him back a little bit, maybe get a new character, change whatever it may be. But man, it was 50-50. Yeah, a lot of people, saying, Sammy is ready for the next step. You had some other people saying, I can't see Sammy as a top guy. I'm in that crowd. But if Sammy wins, kudos to him in the world. I do think he will get a big following, much like Daniel Bryan um, did with the Yes movement. So we'll see. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. So that's the landscape. A night of chaos, a monster protected, and hopefully there could be a massive redemption song for Sami Zayn. This show is going to set the tone for Royal Rumble. If Sammy loses, will they have Trick Williams win? Or if Sammy loses, it'll probably be Randy Orton who wins. But I want chaos. Give it to Trick Williams. Give it to Damian Priest. I want to see. Uh, it's probably not going to happen, but based on Triple H booking, I can see Sami Zayn winning. But I want to hear your pick. Are you riding with the underdog from the underground, or are you all in on Trick Williams hype train? Screenshot this episode, throw it on your Instagram story, tag me at Pro Wrestling Escape. I will reshare it, and give me your best hot take on that. We'll be back next week to break down the fallout. Enjoy the fights, enjoy the poutine. This has been your Pro Wrestling Escape.